Well, let's bring you more on today's judgment. We're joined on the news at 10 by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Adeleke Agbola. He joins us live in our Lagos studio. It's good to have you on the news at 10.
Thank you, Paddy.
For a lot of Nigerians, this is maybe new, watching over 12 hours of a judgment being delivered, but clearly not for you. But I'd like to just get your take on this judgment. What do you make of it?
Well, we have just been treated to a well-written, well-dissected, well-researched judgment by the Court of Appeal. They have done a good job of listening to all the parties, going through the evidence submitted, and coming to a reasoned conclusion. We can never satisfy everybody, but in my opinion, the judges have done a very brilliant job under very difficult circumstances.
Well, swiftly after that judgment was given, the Labour Party rejected the court's ruling, saying that justice was not served and it did not reflect the law and the desire of the people. So for a lot of people who've seen the judgment, what do you look out for when you want to decide that aphorism, that justice must not only be done, but must also be seen to be done?
Yes, you know, as a party to the petition, Labour Party is well within its right to criticize or say it does not agree with the judgment. That is within their constitutional right. But for a disinterested observer who have been monitoring from the time the petition was filed to the time evidence was being given, and to when you look at the caliber of lawyers that have represented all the parties, I think justice has been served. When the first part of the statement by Labour Party is, of course, debatable, but the issue of saying what the people desire, that is not the function of the court. The function of the court is to give judgment according to the law and in accordance with the facts presented before them. They may be wrong. That is why you have an appeal process in place, but I think they have done a very good job with the resources at their disposal.
Yeah, I think it was a Chief Justice who described Nigeria's political class as being the most litigious people on earth, literally. And for those who still feel hard done by, what are the options available now?
Well, I think a small step has been taken today by the Tribunal justices by finding the parties who have been alleged to have brought frivolous petitions. It's still a very tiny amount of money paid by them, which is not enough to cover the cost of any of the lawyers retained by them anyway. And I think the era of frivolous petitions will gradually come to an end when sanctions are applied, not to distract, not to prevent people from coming to court, but to ensure that matters that come to court are ones that are genuine. When you look at what has happened to the lawyers of Donald Trump in the United States, almost all the lawyers that appear for Donald Trump are facing one problem or the other. Some of them have been disbarred. Some of them have criminal proceedings being given against them. It shows the system, where the system works. That you don't just wake up just because you lost an election and you say you want to go to court. That should not be the reason. You should only come to court when you believe that, yes, I lost, but I've not lost fairly. And the burden, as a court, all the judges emphasized today in their judgment, is that the burden is on you. You are the one who is saying, I've been hard done by. You are the one to present your evidence to show that you have been that is not a frivolous petition. What we have been seeing a lot in our court system, with all due respect to the counsels representing the parties, that a lot of petitions ought not to be filed. And I'm happy, to be honest, with the fines imposed, because once you say it's frivolous, then people must pay for it. It is small, but it's a good beginning.
So we see that there's still the Supreme Court option available. Yes. As we wind down in less than 30 seconds now, a lot of people were asking, why didn't they see the faces of the justices? And they kept wondering, what provisions are responsible for that?
Well, the press pushed, and some of the parties pushed for live transmission of the proceedings. The courtroom is not a theater where you go and look at people's faces. You just want to hear what are the decisions. And I'm sure nobody has lost anything by the face of the judges not being shown. when you see the way judges have been threatening in response to these proceedings, where people have even targeted their children, anything that can be done to restrict the attacks on their persons, I think is justified.
Mr. Adeleke Agbola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, thank you so much for your time on the News at 10.